Synergy in gaming is basically when two items come together to make a powerful effect, or even things just complementing one another, feeding off each other's power to become even stronger. Synergy is almost always present in roguelites and roguelikes. Seeing that Sulfur happens to be a roguelite extraction shooter, maybe it's time we talked about some of its strongest and most fun synergies. How's that sound for you? Sulfur has a ton of loot, a bunch of different items to help you build the perfect kit for whatever run you're going on. So we won't be going over some of the more obvious synergies like wearing a parka to protect you from whatever might happen when you put that slush enchantment on your gun. There's plenty of armor pieces that come with powerful effects, whether it's for your melee or for specific guns like a high cut helmet, giving you an extra burst of automatic weapon damage, or even the 3 trinkets that help out with snipers, revolvers, and assault rifles. I just said we're not going to go over them and then I just started listing a bunch off. I mean, I can't even stick to the freaking plan here. But those are all givens and they don't really require any additional research to uncover. You just have to find them and then do a little bit of reading, which is hard for some of us. Do I really need to tell you that a lot of synergies are going to come from the oils and scrolls, the enchantments of Sulfur? Gun customization is the bread and butter of Sulfur. It's the best part of the game. I mean, unless you want to count the music, because the music is pretty great. But right now, that is the majority of your end game, is crafting up the craziest builds you can think of. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of synergy there, especially when it comes to the oils, but that doesn't mean it's exclusive to just those and man stoppers. You ever tried jumping on your ass wheel while wearing some knee pads? Wearing each of one of those at once and sprint crouching will get you a serious case of the zoomies in Sulfur, and buddy, nobody is complaining about that. To show that I'm not putting any of my personal bias behind this powerful list of synergies, I'll even include a classic for some of those double Sulfur non-believers. Those with the same amount of brain cells as me will just use 2 Sulfurs no matter what, which could easily be a compliment or an attack. But 1 spring coil boot and 1 Sulfur is something I've seen a lot of people talk about. It gives you a little bit of extra oomph in your double jump that you're getting from your Sulfur with that 25% jump power from the spring coil boot. If you want to get real wacky with it, you could even get rid of the 1 Sulfur, put on a Pope hat and another spring coil boot, and you've got 50% jump power and an extra jump from the Pope hat. Now that's a lot of spring in your step. Sound like I'm promoting it like it's a fucking commercial. In times like these, sometimes it's best to do as Joe AKIM Vars 5393 would do and run a build that would counter the flash effect from Holy Purge by wearing sunglasses. It's their way of RPing as the Men in Black. You'll still lose 10 health every time you use it, but hey, you know, 1 nerf is better than 2 nerfs, right? Petroleum oil might be in need of another line of text to describe exactly what it will do for you, or not, we could just leave it as a meme. But essentially, when you drench those enemies in oil, if you hit them with a fire enchanted gun, whether it's a flamethrower or an ember scroll on it, it'll increase the damage that the fire effect is having. I went over this a bit in my worst items in Sulfur video, but I didn't really make any gun builds for it, so that's what I wanted to do here. I figured we'd take the old flicker out for a spin, seeing as it's the best utility gun in the game. Slapped a Petroleum on it, Arkanoid, Instant, 2-time, and Big Oil. Get it? This little puppy's gonna have a hard time missing a target, as it's going to bounce around the entire room and hit as many people as it possibly can, drenching them in the oil. I finally got around to making a flamethrower build, which is something I've been nervous to do because I think the flamethrower effect is a little weird in Sulfur and I don't love it. I kind of wish it was more of a straightforward flamethrower. You know, like a constant, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do I have to describe what a flamethrower looks like? But anyways, I took the Flock 76, threw flamethrower on it, late boom, give it some extra damage, of course. Then to counteract the bullet speed loss we get from late boom, I put velocity on it. You might be asking why that was important to me. It's because if you affect basically anything with the flamethrower enchantment, it's gonna send it all out of whack, especially bullet speed. It's gonna look weird, it's possibly not gonna do anything you want it to, so you kind of have to fix those little negatives. Then I threw a Zero Fucks oil on it to increase the RPM, and then a Potshot oil for even more damage, because I don't imagine myself ever wanting to ADS with this thing. Obviously, you could do whatever your heart desires with your flamethrower and petroleum builds. All you needed was the information that those two things together make for a very powerful combination. Plus, it's nice to have a little setup before the gunfight once in a while. Perfect Random wanted to nerf Holy Fire, but little did they realize all they were doing was buffing the star and witness synergy. Synergy with any oils that disable aim, because you can't aim with the star and witness. Therefore, you can use any of the disable aim oils and you'll have a great time with the star and witness. But what's that got to do with Holy Fire? Well, the nerf for Holy Fire was minus 50% RPM. But if you put a 12 gauge chisel and a gun crank on the star and witness, that lower RPM is actually going to help you out a lot if you put stable hip oil on, which disables aim. You can't aim with these things, remember? The star and witness are some of my favorite guns in the game, and if I'm running a build for it, I'm going to do stable hip, pot shot, late boom, and tandem. You could throw tandem on there because it does only negative 15% damage. 15% of whatever shotgun damage is not a lot. Potshot also disables aim, so once again, that synergy is perfect there. But you're good to just play around with any of the disable aim oils and see what you can come up with. Let me know in the comments if you have something different. This is just one of my backup sidearms that I use a lot of the time in this game. There's no surprise that a lot of oils have negative damage attached to them. It's for balancing reasons. But what if you want a gun that's supposed to do no damage? Like a charm gun? Well, then you got synergy on your hands, my friend. Because you can make yourself an RTS gun and have the enemies fight for you. By using flea and multi-shot oil, you're getting 120% less damage, bringing the damage all the way down to 0. Plus, you're getting 2 bullet bounces and 2 extra projectiles. For my personal RTS gun, I like to use a Ploika Compact with charm, flea, multi-shot, surgical laser oil, and ricochet oil. But you could do whatever you want, just make sure the thing doesn't do any damage. I mean, you don't want to hurt your new buddies, do you? I know some of you clicked on this video and immediately had the thought of, oh, if he's going to talk about synergies, he's going to talk about the synergy of sulfur, right? Right? Yeah, I am. Why would I skip out on mosquito and Tetris oil, making your gun have infinite ammo? This combo has become so overused that I think I even saw a meme in the Sulfur subreddit about people being like unoriginal for using it, but it's just so damn good. Who doesn't love infinite ammo? With mosquito oil, you're getting a 70% less ammo consume chance. Pair that with satiety, or when you put it on the gun, Tetris oil, and it gives you a 30% less consume chance, meaning 100%. And then stupid old satiety is gonna like lower reload speed. It's infinite ammo, who cares? This is a perfect example of two oils not being very good on their own, but together being one of the most powerful things in the game. But let's not stop there, shall we? Because if we're doing that, we might as well look at all the oils that have a minus reload speed attribute. Some of my favorites are Parallel Mag, which gives you an extra projectile at the cost of reload speed, Complicated Oil giving you 30% extra damage at the cost of reload speed, and Purse Gun giving you minus 35% recoil at the cost of reload speed. Between you and me, those aren't necessarily two of my favorites, but they did make up for this knot build that I made that I really like. That's another synergy. You throw a gun crank on that infinite ammo knot and you've got yourself an assault rifle that smacks. That's the great thing about this game. You throw a rock, you're gonna hit a synergy of some kind. If you know anything about energy type guns, you'll know that they don't have any recoil. So this one's a little bit obvious. You take all the oils that are gonna give you extra recoil and throw them on something like a Catacoil or a Neuraxis. I'm gonna go Catacoil because that thing is goated. You can use Dead Center Oil, which will lower the spread down to 0.5, which is great because as of right now, you can't put any barrel attachments on something like the Catacoil Rapid X, an energy type gun. Puncher doing 150 plus recoil. No, that don't scare me now. Kicker, 50% recoil? Don't scare me. Collateral giving me +2 for bullets penetrating at 100% recoil? I'm not scared. I got synergy. And then for the last one, you could do Cartoon to get +4 bullet bounces, or even a lightweight oil and give yourself +50% RPM. It don't matter. It's dealer's choice there. Only because I couldn't really decide. I honestly like them both for their own reasons. I'm probably leaning more towards the Cartoon oil. Clearly, I'm still just as indecisive as I was earlier. I like the gun to go brrr, but I also like it to be efficient and get some bounces in too. The bounces can be really good as well. I don't know. When making guns in Sulfur, there's one thing that most players are dreading if they see it on an oil, and that is bullet drop. There's no oils that will give you less bullet drop. They're not going to send it up to the skies, to the heavens above. So with enough of those, your gun's going to be kind of useless. It's going to be a little limp dick unless you churn it into a hardy rocket. That's crazy. The rocket launcher scroll doesn't suffer from any bullet drop. The rockets will always go the same straight path, which is weird because in the description it says more bullet drop, so it might be bugged. This is a scroll that's always kind of had some issues, especially with optimization and game performance. At one point I thought this wouldn't be in the game come 1.0. We'll see. It's a weird ass scroll. But if someone wanted to just let loose and throw a heavy oil, solid oil, bombard oil, and even a hyper lead oil to counter the slowness of the rockets, because that bad boy gets 100% bullet speed, alright? You could have yourself an amazing ferryman, and if you put a 12 gauge chisel on it, it could be straight up hilarious. If your PC can handle it, it is one of the most powerful guns in the game, hands down. So those are the synergies that I wanted to share with you guys today, but that doesn't mean we need to stop. In fact, I didn't even come up with this idea. Hustler University Zero came up with the idea, and I don't know what's going on with their name there, and they even got the Andrew Tate picture, but that's not important. It just seemed like a fun challenge, and I thought I would take a crack at it. I'm dying to hear any other synergies I didn't mention here that you guys use on a day-to-day basis, maybe even just a whole build that works really well, really cohesively, everything complements one another. Please let me know down in the comments, and just like Hustler University, if you have any, that's so crazy to say, man, that name and picture are just great. If you guys have any recommendations for other Sulfur videos or even other games that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments. I have one last synergy for you, and that's the people that decided to become members of the channel. When they smashed that button, it synergized with my heart and made it warm and fuzzy. I'm not sure if any of that makes sense, but I have to say thank you to them every single video because I appreciate everything they do. They give extra support to my family and I every month, and for the last time, but not really, just the last time this video, they know they don't have to do that, but they do it anyways. Thank you guys so much. You're all amazing people. You don't have to. I just said that, so it wasn't even the last time. I'm full of shit, man. And I'm gonna do one more additional shout out to the homie Zatura, who drew me as a Sulfur character eating a shoe, which is, it sounds crazy, but it's for the reference. It was for my birthday. It was amazing. I know I said that I was just gonna post about it, and then I did, and then everybody saw it. You guys are all great for glazing them up because they deserve it, even though they might have been like, hey, don't glaze me up too much, glaze up perfect random. Doesn't matter. You're gonna get the glaze when you do something awesome like this. I'm one of those people where I see art, I can't do art. It's even better because I don't understand how people are capable of doing something like that. It's just beyond my brain capacity. Speaking of which, I've kind of just run out of brain capacity. I got nothing left to say. I hope you guys have a great day. Maybe watch one of the recommended videos if you feel so inclined. Goodbye. It's weird. I don't think I ever say goodbye. I feel like I always just end on some weird rant.